Welcome to part 11 of Armchair Chat, October the 6th, 2022, Yom Kippur, Grace and Glory of God edition. And we have gone from 2 Timothy 3 over to Mark 16 to explain how we dress matters. What light did you shine when you were out there in the stores? Were you dressed holy? Would you wear in the churches what you wore on the beaches? If you're going to do that, let me know ahead of time. Let me know ahead of time. I won't show up that night. That way, when God strikes you with lightning, I will make sure I'm nowhere in the vicinity. These things shouldn't have to be being corrected in older Christians now. You should not be misbehaving at this point in the game. Oh no, you should be fully devout and full in and telling other people don't dress like that.
And also,
don't act like that. Don't be like that.
To that.
Don't be like that. Don't be like this. Because why? Mark 16:17 says, and these signs shall follow them that believe in my name. In my name shall they cast out devils. How can you cast out a devil when you carrying one around, when you living like one, when you dressing like one? You go away to these other places and you think, no one I know will ever know I did this. Don't say you never had that thought. It's in the collective. Jesus himself knows you had that thought. He's got it. He gave it to me. Don't deny it. The altar is not crowded, but I don't suggest kneeling at any that has a graven image on it. That's not a good idea. Do not bow down to those graven images. The Lord will not count you guiltless. Watch where you bow down. Now, getting on into this. And these signs shall follow them that believe in my name. Shall they cast out devils? They shall speak with new tongues. They shall speak with new tongues. That doesn't say you're going to stop speaking with those tongues. No, those are signs that's going to follow you. If something's following you, it stays right with you. Look at all the followers you got on Facebook or Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever these little goofy things you want. I don't know. Telegram. Did I say that already? I may have. That's a new one to me. But it's a platform for the Lord. All these things are platforms for the Lord if you choose to use them that way. You can look at my Facebook, in fact, and see how it has changed over the years. And in the last 2.5 years, going on 3 years now, alone, the massive major change in my speech. Because every idle word we are going to give account of. Anyways, getting on into this. They shall cast out devils. Time to start with those that are in yourself. Try casting those out. Your little cigarettes, your booze, your tobacco use of any kind, chew or otherwise. Your vapes, your marijuana, your drugs. That's any kind of pharmacia. I don't care if doctor prescribed or not. An addiction is an addiction. It doesn't matter. A dependence is a dependence. You think, oh, I got to have this to live. No, you don't. The only thing we require to live is our God. That is the only thing that we require to live. That's the only thing we cannot, absolutely cannot live without. That is Jesus himself. That is Jesus himself. Yeah, they told me I had thyroid disease. They kept me on the same thyroid pill for 10 years. Never took it up, never took it down, never tweaked it once they got it set at that level. And you know what? I never really thought much about it. I thought it was the Lord. I knew that my mom's went up and down. They took hers up and down. I knew that Opal and my father-in-law, who I took care of, they took theirs up and down, up and down. And I thought, Lord, why don't they ever tweak mine and move it? Why don't they ever maneuver that? And then I just quit worrying about it. I just didn't really. I got where I didn't care. They kept saying it was controlled. Everything was controlled and whatnot at the doctor. And one day I went to the eye doctor. And she was talking to me about my eyes and the dry eye I was experiencing and stuff. And she wanted to know how long I had been on that microgram of the thyroid medicine I was on. And I told her, 10 years. She said, no, you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. I don't want to know how long you've been on the medicine. I want to know how long you've been on this microgram, the 100, the number itself. And I told her, again, 10 years. She said in 10 years, they've never changed, lowered or raised that up and down, any at all. No, I said. The only time that they changed it was when they first put me on, 10 years ago. They put me on like 60. Then they raised it to 75. Then they put me on 100. And that's where I stayed, and that's where I've been ever since. And that was in the first 6 months. And since then, nothing. No change. And every time I asked about it, they said it was controlled. Which I thought was odd. But I just let it go. She said, that is odd. I've never seen that before. You've never seen it before. Well, I didn't know nothing about it, so it didn't matter to me. But that threw up a flag to me right there. This eye doctor. She said, you know that medicine can affect your eyes. It can make them dry. Your hair. Make it dry and brittle. It affects us. It does stuff to us. And I said, no, I didn't know that. Honestly. She said, everything that you take and put into your body bears some side effects of some kind. She's right. Everything except for the natural things God gave us in the garden that was intended for our body, which was food sources, natural food sources. Even the animals that he gave us to eat. Everything but that, that's concocted, that is put together by man, is witchcraft. It's brewed or still put together by the apothecary, which is witchcraft. It's alchemy. And it absolutely is against God. Saul was supposed to kill all these, and he didn't. He didn't kill that last witch, the witch of Endor. Why? Because he began to doubt God. So what did he do? He went to the witch of Endor for help to get her to raise Samuel. Necromancing, even. Talking to the dead. We're not supposed to do that. And what did Samuel tell Saul when he had it done? when it happened. You should not have done this. You should not have done this. And right then, he was marked. See, he trusted the devil over God. He trusted the devil over God. This is the serpent on the pole that you look to instead of the Savior on the cross. That's what you're looking to. You're looking to the serpents on the pole. The serpent on the pole instead of the cross. And this is not to be. This is not how Jesus wants it to be. You're not putting him first, and you're not truly trusting him, and your unbelief is a sin.
Well, again,
How much faith does it take to get a miracle from God? How much faith does it take to get a miracle from God? Do you see that little dot? This is a mustard leaf. It's not the tree of life. It's a mustard seed in the center of a mustard plant. If you have faith, there's a grain of a mustard seed. It's a little tiny dot, a little teensy tiny thing. Look large to the camera because it was up close. But think about this. If you have faith as big as that little mustard seed, that's not much. God doesn't require much from you. Can you see that? Just that you believe in him that much. That's barely big as the head of a stick pin. But if you had faith that much, you can move mountains. Oh, the things God would do for you if you really just trusted him and cleaned up your act. Because why? No, we're not saved by our works. Don't misunderstand. We are saved by grace through faith alone. But if you got no faith in God, how is that faith going to save you? How are you going to be saved by faith if you have no faith? Now, they're talking about deadly bombs here. You better be putting on some of that faith. Because your little iodine tablets, that's just salt. Use some wisdom and knowledge, people. That is salt. Look at the back of the salt box. It'll tell you that. Potassium iodine. Bake you a tater and eat it. Put you some butter and salt on it and go to town. There you are. You're no longer radioactive. Better put on some Jesus so you really be sure. Put on the full armor and you'll have nothing to worry about. That's Ephesians 6. I'm not going to read that one. But let's get on into this Mark and finish. Mark 16:18. They shall take up serpents, and if they drink any deadly thing, Lord, you better think if they drink, not just drink it, it's about eating it these days. But it says, if they shall drink any deadly thing, it shall not hurt them. They shall lay hands on the sick, and they shall recover. Now, you all may think I'm a little pushy when it comes to prayer time. I have faith in my Father, and I want to make sure people get healed. It's not me doing it, it's him. I'll see you in part 12.